So class, there's a little bit of a divergence between the App Inventor tutorial that's referenced at the beginning of our page up at the top and also our book. And I'm going to follow the book more closely, okay? But I just want to mention that there are some differences and they're going to start showing up now. What we have to do next is add the canvas component. So let's go here and look for drawing and animation and find canvas. We drag that over. And notice it stacks below the others because I didn't put it in this screen arrangement here. So the canvas component, we're going to do a couple of things. One, we want to set the size. The width is going to be Phil Parent. And we're going to set the height to be 300 pixels like the book says. Say OK. Now, the book mentions that we want to change the color to red. I'm not going to do that because if I do, it will screw up the bug that appears in the other tutorial from the MIT site, which is the canvas component is already set up to have a color, right? So when you start coloring it, it's not going to be red, blue, or green. It'll be black. And then, it makes you wonder, why did that happen? Well, the reason is the property is set on the component at design time, and then we change it later by clicking on these buttons, okay? So it'll make sense in just a minute, but I wanted to bring that up. Also, we've got to go and add our kitty image to the background. So the way we do that is we look at image. I've already uploaded it right here. So if just to show you, I'm going to delete it so it's not there, and then I'm going to upload it again. So upload file, choose a file, and there's kitty. We say OK. It's going to show up down here. And I could have uploaded up here as well with upload, but I'm just going to select it, say OK, and then all of a sudden the kitty's there. There's nothing that I can draw on right now by clicking on this because there is no event. And actually, this is on my phone. So if I click on it, nothing happens. I'm drawing on the cat's eyes, and you can't see anything. That's because we haven't programmed the behavior. But to follow the book, we've got to add another screen arrangement at the bottom. So let's go in here and do that. So we're back to layout. So we're going to do horizontal arrangement. We'll put it down here. And notice it lines up. It's vertically stacked. So it's this component is stacked on top of this component, which is stacked on top of this component. And similarly, within the horizontal arrangement, this one is to the left of this one, which is to the left of this one. So you just have to kind of understand where all that comes together. Let's set the width of this to Phil Parent, say OK, and we're going to add some more buttons in here, right? I believe under the user interface we put this in here, drag it in. I think the first button that we're going to put on is something called Take Picture, right? So we're going to Take Picture button, a white button, a big button, and a small button. So let's change the name of this first of all. Button Take Picture. OK, and we're going to set the text of it to be Take Picture. And then we're going to add another button, and guess where that's going to line up. If I put it here, it would stack below, but if I put it here where that blue line shows, it'll be the next one. It'll be to the right of the previous button. So we're going to rename this one. We're going to call this button wipe. And that's just a clear function. It'll clear all our writing, so we'll make this white. And then, of course, we want big and small. So let's put this here. We're going to call it button big. Notice every time I add a new button, App Inventor's got to go out and redraw things. And the phone in my hand, or actually sitting next to me, is doing all this for us. It's blinking just like you're seeing. It's just a little bit delayed. So we're going to rename this one to button, I think it's button big first, right? Yeah, big dots. And let's put this here, big dots. Sorry, big dots. And lastly, button small dots. Rename. Last one. Okay, now we've got a UI to the whole bunch of stuff, right? We've got all this in here. We have no behavior, though. And we're going to do that in the next screencast. So the UI is now pretty much set up. We'll make a couple of tweaks later, but that is where we are. So good work. I hope you're following along. And remember, you can increase the size of the screencast by right-clicking and then clicking, zoom and then show all to go back. So that should cover it. Next, we're going to work on the behavior, and we'll start by clicking on this blocks icon right up to our button right up here.